We at Go Kosher are enriched and inspired constantly by those who have that awakening and act on it. I am thankful to God Almighty for leading my destiny in such a direction, and am humbled by it. I would like to acknowledge the Lubavitcher Rebbe of blessed memory, who initiated the koshering campaign, and whose presence and teachings are constant inspiration for our activities. We are all here to support the mission of Go Kosher, which is to educate all Jewish families and individuals and to facilitate their gradual entry into keeping a kosher home and living a full Jewish life. A few thank yous. I want to thank my dear wife Chavi for taking over many of my responsibilities. In the last 2 months, and for all of her understanding and support, which allowed for this dinner to happen. I want to thank our dinner chairman and family friend, Dr. Eli Rosen, and his family. And our illustrious honorees and their families, and our dinner committee. I want to thank my parents, Rabbi Yecheskel and Pearl Lubavik, and in this case, especially my father, as he is the one who got me started in this endeavor. Years ago, we would spend Fridays koshering people's homes, and what he taught me by example is that it is not beneath anyone's dignity, even someone like himself, a Torah scholar, an intellectual, and a creative writer, to respond to the call of the hour and to physically do what is needed and important. I want to thank Mrs. Esther Shifra Matu for her invaluable help and expertise in putting all of this together. I want to thank my assistant Daniel Altman for being my right-hand man. I want to thank artists Isaac Zeno and Rebecca Miller for their beautiful illustrations. And last but not least, the Go Kosher crew, comprised of many rabbinical students over the years. Many of them have taken their experience and knowledge that they gained working with Go Kosher, working with people, and now lead communities of their own and kosher kitchens worldwide, illuminating souls and helping people fulfill the purpose for which they were created. May God Almighty smile down on our efforts and declare that we have done enough, and finally send us our righteous Mashiach, our righteous Messiah, our Redeemer, and we will continue the celebration in Jerusalem. Thank you. Okay, now we are going to call up our honorees. Oh yeah, it's okay. It's all right. No, it's okay.
I want to thank you all for coming once again, and I want to thank all of the speakers for keeping their speeches short.
Our first honoree is Rabbi Israel Gordon. Wait 1 second. Okay. Who will be receiving the Rabbinical Leadership Lamplighter Award. Rabbi Gordon is a family friend who knows me most of my life. It's truly an honor to have an honoree of Rabbi Gordon's caliber, someone who by nature really doesn't like fanfare, honor, and attention. Rabbi Gordon has told me that there is one thing, especially, that he's very proud of, where he comes from. His father, who was born near the turn of the last century, learned in Lubavitch, in Russia, in the rabbinical seminary, in the yeshiva there for 9 years. And he was a chassid, a disciple, a follower of 3 of the Rebbes of Lubavitch, the Rebbe Rashab, the Frierdiker Rebbe, and the present Rebbe. The 6th Lubavitcher Rebbe referred to him as a yedid, a friend, a very, very close relationship. No wonder then that Rabbi Gordon, with all of his half a century of great accomplishments in the field of rabbinical leadership, Jewish education, and administration, has no airs about him, and is a completely warm and approachable human being, both to children and adults alike. He has been blessed with a unique personal style and sense of humor, suffused with Hasidische Warmkeit, Hasidic warmth, all rolled into one. I'm almost finished. Rabbi Gordon, no, just a little bit. Rabbi Gordon is a rare and great man. I know Rabbi Gordon does not like public compliments and attention, but we can all learn from you, Rabbi Gordon, from your beautiful pashtus, your beautiful simplicity. Thank you for being who you are.
One, two.
No. You're going to read the caption.
Thank you, my dear doctor. Thank you, Shaltiel, for your very kind words. They were a little bit exaggerated, especially since I'm so humble, as you know, as you said. Now, Boyce, I just want to share with you several thoughts and feelings. I've known Shaltiel for a very long time. I met him. I met him before he was born, because I met his father and mother when they were in Worcester for their Sheva Brachas about 40-odd years ago, right? And then afterwards, I met them in Maristan and so on and so forth. I know them all very well. I know you, Shaltiel, and you're a Sofik Beinani. Sofik Beinani. Yeah. You have a tzaddik, you have a Beinani. My friends, I don't want to hack you a China. I just want to share with you several thoughts which I've had. I was really very, very surprised at this whole thing. Not that I am such a big honor, I'm not so humble, but I don't go for these things, you know. I have a different feeling. I love the singing before, it was very lovely, but all this stuff is not, it's not in my taste, basically. But Zutei Kaparosi, okay, very good. Now, I want to share with you just several thoughts, and to make things even more dangerous, what I prepared to say was said by Rabbi Lubavitch before. We both looked into the Ayom Yom. I looked into it an hour ago. What should I say? I found it here. And now he said it. But I'll say it from my point of view, which isn't much different from you, just a little bit older than you are, okay, what I mean? A couple of decades behind you. My friends, tonight will be, as mentioned earlier, Pesach Sheni, which is known as the second Pesach, which means it's exactly 1 month after the first day of Pesach, rather a month after Erev Pesach, when the Yidden used to offer, Jewish people used to offer, and then in those days when we had a Beis HaMikdash, a temple, they would then offer a famous Paschal lamb. The person couldn't do it for different reasons. Then he has a second chance. As he said before, it's never too late. But I want to tell you that this thing is found several times. If you look into Tanya, which is the guidebook of the Chabad movement, there is Perek Beis says, the Nefesh Hashem is B'Yisrael. The second soul that we didn't have is called Chelik Elokam Yimal Mamish, a part of Hashem from above Mamish, actually. This is one case where we have the word Sheni used, that we have something was under Hob Nisht. This is a Neshama, which is Chelik Elokam Yimal Mamish. I also recall when I was a youngster, when I was a little boy, I lived in Europe, in a little town in Russia, the same town my father lived in. I wouldn't say its name because people will laugh. You see, he's laughing already because he knows the name. You anti-Semite. In Dokshitz, I said the name myself. There were 5 or 6 shuls. All besides one were all Chabad shuls. We davened in a shul called Stadishel shul. There was also the Lubavitcher shul, Adir shul, different shuls. And I remember coming here to America, so I asked my brothers, I asked them, we were then davening in a shul, which was a Chabad shul on a street called Christopher Avenue, and the Rav there was Rabbi Jacobson. So I asked him, what's this little room over there? So he tells me this room is called the Chabadnitze. What is Chabadnitze? People who daven long Shabbos morning. People get up early and then learn Chassidus for several hours. Then they daven in that room and they are mizboinen and they think and they daven and they sing a nigun and so on and so forth. So that's called. So this thing is called Cheder Sheni. Now it's the second Sheni. You see, we have Nefesh Sheni to Israel, and also a shul, Chassidish shul, has to have also a Cheder Sheni, where Yidden can also go inside and daven there. What I also recall of that same period, I just now thought of it, it was that at that time there was in America a famous chassid called Rabbi Shada Masmid. We knew afterwards his son Tzemach was there, Tzemach Gorevich. He was a big chassid, a big ovid. So he was then here in Tofra. He came at the end of 1934. He came like December of 34. He was here later on again. And he was scheduled to have a Fabrengen